Timbo boots are ready to come back,
Yeah.
right?
We doing a Timbo collab.
Are you?
Yeah.
Timbo, that would be a business I would buy.
That's
If you buy,
that's $1 billion company, by the way. They own sketches.
I'm aware they're huge,
Yeah.
but based on my thesis that hip hop rules the world, it's probably a $50 billion company.
Stop
If
right
you,
there. What's your thesis?
hip hop rules the world.
Fucking with you, bro. That's how I really feel. I swear to God, if you hear an album, my album thesis is hip hop rule the world. All I gotta do is make 100% authentic hip hop album. I'm global. I don't care what nobody tell me. I don't care what no person tells me on earth. All I gotta do is make the most 100% authentic hip hop album right now. I'm global.
While I got you guys here, let me throw something at you. Do you like traveling or no?
I love traveling.
Well, some people, homebody. I gotta ask the question. You know who's ready?
Yo, what's up? Hey, I was just thinking, man. I know these days everyone's, well, the black people specifically want to fight for representation. We want representation, DI, if you're in South Africa, BE, we want roles in companies and in industries and in movies and in music and everywhere we want to be seen in politics, because how come there's always white people, always a white man, the white male, blah blah blah. And I was just thinking to myself, because I was in my philosophy class and we had an argument, a debate about I think it was Wiredu, or two of the African philosophers, Mentiki versus Giyeke, I think Giyeke. And basically one argues that Mentiki argues that the black people, after colonization here in South Africa, they lost their identity because the white man came and he taught us, that you guys suck and blah blah blah, the usual. And that's a big part of why we haven't succeeded yet, and that before that, group mentality was really big, in African traditional villages. And then the other one, Gieke, argues that, well, that's good as well, but individuality and individual rights and responsibilities and ownership is also important, so there should be a balance. We can't just have the group. And I was arguing on Gieke's side because I said, well, the group is good and it's strong, and together we're stronger, divided we fall, united we stand. But if united, we are like Man United, or or like black people, or like a gang. A gang is a group, but a group can fall together if the values and principles of that group are negative. So it depends what kind of values and principles the group has. Otherwise, it's better for you to seek individuality and your own way to prosper, which is like, capitalism vibes. Like, individuals will make the group succeed, and if individuals do well, the whole group does well, such as like Elon Musk, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison. If they do well, then the whole country does well, the whole group, and they take us forward. So that's what I was arguing, and it got me thinking about this thing. I was just driving now and I'm like, this representation thing, listen, we can be represented, but is representation always a good thing? Is all publicity good publicity? Because sometimes representation, not all representation is good representation. You can say, please represent us in movies and music and politics and TV, but let's just take movies for instance. Okay, please represent us in movies. We want to be seen as much as the white guys are seen in movies. Hollywood's too white, or movies are too white. So then they say, okay, cool, we're gonna give every slave role, murderer role, gang member role, servant role, maid, barman, all of those roles to blacks. All of them. So you're going to be almost overrepresented, like, because in every single movie you're going to have that role. And villain. Well, I guess villain's still cool. The English guys usually get that, the British guys. But yeah, what if every role they give us is somewhat negative? It can have an actual adverse effect on how people see us and how we see ourselves. It could be like programming. So not all representation is good representation. We want good representation. And for that, unfortunately, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to earn it. Because you can't just make someone look good without them actually having the attributes or the competence that it takes to actually pull it off. Otherwise, it's going to be exposed very quickly. So yeah, that got me thinking as well. Actually, this was the first thought I had, which was this hip-hop thing. I saw somewhere, I watched a video a while back before Nipsey died. Gary V was always Gary V, that podcaster, the YouTube guy, for those who don't know, wrote a couple books, Jab, 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 Left Hook, and some good books about social media. He almost predicts a lot of stuff, man. Probably works with the CIA or something. I'm kidding, but he's cool, man. But yeah, he predicted like the rise of Twitter. He invested in that very early. I think he invested in Facebook a bit earlier, and I think he was also one of the first to actually leverage YouTube like properly, like monetizing and stuff, and selling and growing a business. His dad's wine business, he grew that. And like he was saying, he was chilling with Nipsey a lot and like rappers a lot, because he's an old white guy. I think he's Russian, but he was chilling with like all these young black kids, and he was like, hip hop is the most influential cultural movement like in the world at the moment. And that was when Nipsey was still alive, but close to when he died. So you know, that's when like it was getting really out there, like with the trap kids, and pretty much all the white kids, Chinese kids, everyone's like a hip-hop head and stuff. So with, you know, Travis Scott and this vibes, so he was like, just, you could see he was trying to ride the wave, because he could see something coming. Like, if these guys can leverage this and actually do something useful with it, or if he can and then capitalize on it, he's a capitalist, then he could see big money. So he kept preaching to the guys about how hip-hop is number one. It's like, as far as moving the culture, it touches every part of, these are my words, it touches so many parts of culture these days, from the slang to the dressing to fashion to cars. I mean, literally, high fashion went from, oh, look at these peasants, basically, this is haute couture, you know, haute couture, and this is high fashion. And streetwear, what is that? To like, you walk in Santon City now, you see the Gucci stores and everything, it's all streetwear now. Like, that's high fashion now. It's like everyone did something with Supreme, and after that it was like, oh, streetwear is the thing. I know Virgil with Louis V, and everyone wants a black rap guy to be creative director of all these big fashion houses. And I guess Kanye had a lot to do with that. I mean, although you can say all the way to Jordan, but that was Nike, so that was sports anyway. So yeah, but anyway, so hip hop is like really influential now. It's like high fashion and high society now. It's like it crept its way in. But is that a good thing? That's what I meant, like this representation. Because is it good for us black people if hip hop becomes like such a big influence? And the reflex that we will have as a black person is to be like, yes, of course it is, because all representation is good representation, as long as we out there, you know. The white kids are now buying our stuff. Yes, now you see the parents will be upset now because they were racist, but now their kids love black people. And it's like, but for good reasons or for bad reasons? Because the reasons matter. If hip-hop is influencing people to act stupid, if hip-hop is making people say, like, you know, corporates use words like Riz and skibidi, and like, you know, it's making people like, I'm a piano, like, if that's the best that we have to represent us, and it's like, oh yeah, look, the corporates are using that word, but it's making white children dumber, like, and act ignorant in order to be relatable to us. How the hell is that helping us? How the hell is that making us better? It's almost like, oh, you know what, if we can't be part of your forward culture, your building things, your creation of technology, innovation, moving the world forward through science, maths, language, politics, law, then we're gonna pull the rest of your world down. It's like, well, if we can't come with you, we're gonna pull you down. So we're gonna give you slang, gang signs, streetwear, street behavior, and acting up and wilding out, and then we're gonna say, yo, you see, look, we're so powerful because now you stupid like us. I don't think that's a good thing, as much as people would say it is. And I mean, it's up for debate, right? I guess if we give them that, and then now they're open to black people, and then I guess then we can switch it around and then capitalize off it. But it's usually very few capitalize off it, very few. How many famous rappers in SA making proper livings, proper 10? Same 10 as in the last 10 years, same 10 as the last 15 years. It's like, yes, come on, man. Yeah, in fact, even before the high fashion brands and all of these brands, the traditionally white people's brands were, or the brands traditionally worn by white people were more open to working with black companies and such, of streetwear and whatnot. I think rappers sold these companies. I said to my friend the other day, to my business partner, I said, listen, why the hell is Bernardo No anywhere close to the list of richest people in the world? Like, what the hell? He's up there with people who have, okay, there's Elon Musk, sure, 5 companies, two probably $1 trillion companies soon. SpaceX is what, a $200 billion company. One is pioneering not pioneering, but pioneering the actual mass production of electric vehicles. The other one is pioneering mind and tech augmentation. The other one is pioneering reusable spaceships and cheaper, affordable, viable space travel, like Mars travel. The other one, it's like, dude, okay, Zuckerberg has connected every single person in the world, so laugh at him and hate him and whatever. That company was like, I swear, like the CIA should have thought of that. Maybe they did. Facebook. Bezos, I mean, do I need to tell you guys why he's useful, and that's why I don't like this thing of hate on billionaires. All of these things are useful. If you're hating on them, let's take away the companies then. Let's shut down their companies and see how you survive. And then we have Bernardo No, who was like #1 for a bit last year over all of these guys. And let's see the helpful stuff he's done. He's selling clothes, expensive clothes, not like necessities or stuff that, you clothe people because everyone needs clothes. No. These are clothes that no one needs, people want. He's selling alcohol. What is it? LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Hennessy and Moet. Hennessy and Moet. I guess people gotta celebrate, and why do it with just like a JC LaRue? Let's hit up the Moet. And who made him that money? Let's see, who's responsible for the sales of Moet, Hennessy and Louis Vuitton? Who's known for that? Who's known? Oh yeah, blacks. Hip-hop guys especially. Like that's like a hip-hop rapper music video starter kit. LVMH. Have some Louis V, have some Moet poppin', and some Hennessy. Just go to Conquer and you'll see why Bernardo No is like the 3rd richest man in the world or something. Ridiculous. Yeah, so we were already making them rich. We were already influential. That's why Gary Vee said hip-hop runs the world, because like that's how much power we really actually have. Not to mention back in the day with Jordans. I mean, Phil Knight was built by that. Air Force, Nike. Phil Knight owes rappers everything. Timberland, such an obscure niche brand, but he owes Nike everything. So he owes blacks everything. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't know. I don't think it's such a good idea for hip-hop to be the main way that we are influencing the world. As Kanye says, these people own land, they own patents, they own inventions, they own industries, and then we own braids. I say that. We own braids. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think it's good. I think we must also consider what it is that represents us and how we want to be represented. the kind of, the word legacy is just now played out, but like the kind of legacy, the kind of you know, the kind of lens that we can actually affect how people see us. So, you know, like the Jews after World War II, first thing they did was go to America and buy and create Hollywood, because they realized like propaganda was how they got persecuted in the first place. It's like Hitler, it wasn't the hate, it was more the propaganda. It was like no more German folks, everyday family men, turned into vicious killers because of how the media was able to turn them and twist them and influence them, similar to what's happening in America right now with Kamala and anyway. And like because of that, that's how much influence the media has. And the Jews realized that, and they said, well, even if we restart and rebuild, this is my take on it, if we restart, rebuild, become rich through just, you know, usual industries and whatnot, if we don't own the media, we'll never be free, because at any time a Hitler can rise up again, use the media against us, and then we'll be prosecuted. So I think that's why they actually started Hollywood and why they own the media in America. It's actually a defensive move rather than an offensive move, even though afterwards, obviously, bad people, you know, everyone has bad people, Jews, blacks, we all have bad guys amongst us who use it for bad things. But anyway, speaking of Kamala, actually, look at that. What's Kamala's best way of speaking to us? Cardi B. She can't even remember the lines. Beyonce. It's like, that's the level that we on now. It's like, well, it's black, so who do blacks admire? Celebrities, I guess. They're not gonna bring like any astute politician or proper speaker or like some scientist or PhD guy, black guy there. It's like, oh, who the heck is this guy and why should we listen to him, even though he's gonna actually tell us the realities. But yeah, you tell me, do you think it's a good thing? Do you think any influence is good influence? Any representation is good representation? I don't know, man.